So I got this golf cart here, a couple other videos on the channel about fixing this motor. It's all fixed, everything's cool there, works great, fantastic. We got the brakes installed on it, so now we got brakes again, also fantastic. And the shock absorbers were just completely toast. They were done. Obviously leaked out, no good. So instead of buying new shock absorbers for this thing that are meant for this, I decided that I was going to install some Ford Ranger shocks, which are extremely overkill. I had these shocks, bought them from Auto Shack. They're very, very cheap. I think it was like 57 bucks or something for the pair of them. That's Canadian. And I just cut the end off of them, grabbed myself a bolt that was roughly the same diameter that would fit into this hole. This is a factory mounting location. You can see we do have a plate on here because this cart does have a lift kit on it. And I'm just welded these two together. I've got them installed. You can see this side is installed. This is the factory side. And as far as removing and replacing, I believe they probably want you to take the body off maybe. You can sneak in there with a wrench, but of course everything's all rusty and seized, so you gotta just cut it off with a Sawzall. That works best. And then I just use a torch and blow the bottom of that off and then get it off. Stick this thing up in there. I put the bushings on, of course, start the nuts, tighten it down, and then it hangs out in there roughly, sort of just sits like about here. And then all I do is, stick this bolt in, and then I'll actually tighten it down so that it's tightened in its final position, because the angle of this plate is just slightly different. It doesn't completely line up with the shock. And then I just weld them together and paint them. So this cart itself is mainly just used for fetching tires and also taking loads of scrap metal out to our bins. So there's times where we've had probably over 500-600 pounds on this cart. So the poor leaf springs, you can see shocks aren't doing anything, and the leaf springs themselves that hold all the weight have a bit of a bow in them. They have been worked to the max, and of course they're very old, getting rusty, you know. But another thing that I did was weld floors in it. I don't know how common these are to rot out and go bad. This one was obviously super rusty, but cut out some sheet metal, welded in floors, everything's cool there. One interesting thing that happened was I got everything welded back in, went to move the cart because everything was good, and I had no forward or reverse, no power. And I found out that inside, above this piece of metal here, there's a throttle plate or a throttle box, and your throttle pedal here pushes a rod that goes through a coil of wire that changes resistance to the computer inside that gives you a throttle input. And there was so much rust and stuff underneath it, I had to clean all the rust out to get the throttle from sticking, because it was sticking, and everything was cool. But then there's a micro switch that's inside of there that ended up getting damaged. I may have accidentally damaged it, so got to put a new one of those in. But if your cart is not moving forwards or backwards, and the solenoid that's located on this side of the batteries where your tow run switch is, there's a solenoid in there. If it's not clicking, chances are it could be that micro switch in there. So yeah, just a little update on the cart. If you got any questions, throw them down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.